Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Solo ReacTalk. Tonight, I'm going to be reacting to vanilla flavors, Warrior, Vanilla, World of Warcraft class guide by platinumwow. If you want to check out my other reactions to other vanilla flavor platinumwow videos, remember the playlist card for Warcraft Monday is going to be up there. Just click on it and you're able to access them. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Not enough rage. Need more rage. Need more rage.
Not enough rage. Not enough rage? I don't understand, what does that mean exactly? Okay.
More rage. Not enough rage. More rage. More rage. I need to get closer.
Warriors are the slowest class to level, but they are one of the most played classes, the best tanks, and a blast to play at 60. So why should you play one of these beefcakes in Classic WoW? Well, let's see what the Warrior brings to the table.
Okay, so a lot of people choose to become warriors in World of Warcraft. Interesting. And even though they are the slowest when it comes to leveling up, people still choose them. People are very patient. I would never be that patient.
Like I mentioned, Warrior is painfully slow to level. They're very gear reliant and lack some of the useful utility and have no self-healing. You can only pull 1 or maybe 2 mobs at a time, and you'll likely have to eat after every pull or 2. So you need to bring a lot of food and bandages.
Okay, so here I see one of the bullets says bring a friend. When he says bring a friend, I'm assuming he means someone who can heal you. Because you're a warrior and you can't heal yourself, all you can do is use bandages and probably food to, increase your health points. So you'll need someone who can heal you in the heat of battle, like if you're in a PvE or a PvP. Alright.
On a lighter note, warriors have a trick up their sleeve to help them out, and it's called hamstring kiting. The basic strat is you use hamstring on a mob and run past to hit it every time your swing timer is off cooldown. This stops the mob from getting hits in between your attacks, so you can minimize the damage you take and maximize the damage you can do. It's highly recommended you get a swing timer add-on so you can time this correctly as well. This method is great when dealing with higher level mobs and should be a skill every warrior should have up their sleeve. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of work to dodge and also attack at the same time, and make sure that the 5 seconds are done for you to do something similar again. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So you got 2 different routes when leveling as a warrior. It's the classic debate between arms versus furry. Look, I meant fury. Fury, get that off my screen! So Fury does more damage, but it lacks utility compared to arms. To do maximum damage as Fury, you're gonna have to abuse /sitting. You want to get a macro for this, and the reason why you do it is so the mob you're fighting will get a critical hit on you, so you proc and rage for 25% more damage. The bonus for leveling for Fury is you don't need to spec into a specific weapon type to be efficient. You just slap on whatever best. Usually people respec at 40 to arms because of Mortal Strike. Now, arms does not do as much damage in the earlier levels, but it does have utility, and I think that outweighs that negative. With arms, you get amazing spells like Sweeping Strikes, Tactical Mastery, Improved Charge, and Mortal Strike, just to name a few. Arms is much better at PvP, so I'd suggest picking the spec on a PvP server. There's one talent you're going to want to get, and that's Axe Specialization. This is because you get Whirlwind Axe at level 30, which is an iconic warrior weapon that does a crazy amount of damage, and you'll be using it for a while. I mean, just look.
It actually looks cool, yeah.
Look at it too. I mean, at level 30, everybody else is using like a worn stick or like a rusty dagger, and you got this awesome looking axe that looks like it's straight out of one of them animes. Also, try and group up with other players. The reason why warriors are so slow at leveling is the downtime they have between mobs, so if you get a healer, they can top you off and you can pull mob after mob. This will also increase your DPS too because your rage won't deplete over time. Also, don't be worried.
And I think you'd also be unstoppable. I mean, if you are strong enough and you have a healer who can heal you multiple times, during battle, I think you'll be unstoppable, really.
Worried about not being able to tank dungeons. All you need to do is just slap on a shield and a one-hander and you'll be good to go. Of course, when you hit level 60, you might want to consider respeccing if you want to tank. In PvE, Fury is going to be your go-to cookie-cutter spec for DPS. Your rotation will be pretty simple. So you're going to mainly stay in Berserker stance and use Bloodthirst, Whirlwind, and Heroic Strike when you're at high rage, but you may have to swap over to Battle stance to use Overpower as well. When the boss gets to 20%, you just spam the ever-loving crap out of Execute.
It's like if you see somebody at low health, like you'd be like an execute machine, like you're looking for people.
I know this guy, I've seen him before.
20%, you see somebody at 20%, boom, execute. See somebody at 20%, boom, execute, 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 execute.
The real challenge for DPS warriors is going to be getting your gear. Now, warriors are the most popular class to play in Classic, so you'll have lots of competition. Not to mention, when getting some of your gear, you'll also have to compete against rogues, hunters, feral druids, and maybe some shamans. Pre-raid best in slot gear like the Devilosaur set is going to be crazy expensive when you first hit level 60, so finding ways to make money is critical to get good gear. Warriors aren't just the best tanks in Classic, they are the tanks in Classic. Most of your time when playing a tank will be focused on keeping threat and
Dance Revolution? Okay.
during armor, but other than that, it's about managing your cooldowns effectively. Spells like Shield Block, Thunderclap, and Demoralizing Shout should be kept up as much as possible. And Berserker's Rage is important to use against fights where the enemy can fear you. The only problem is you can only use the spell in Berserker's Stance, not defensive. This is where stance stancing comes in. So basically the main strat that you're going to do is you're going to swap over to Berserker Stance, use Berserker's Rage, and then instantly swap back to defensive stance.
So this is Dance Revolution. Wow. It's complicated. I don't think I'll be able to do this. Really, from defensive stance to Berserker stance, then Berserker Rage to defensive stance. I'll forget. Really, I'll just forget.
And time it correctly. This is what separates the good tanks from the bad ones.
Колбасер по пояс голый.
Shield Wall and Last Stand are your oh shit buttons, but Last Stand has a 10-minute cooldown, so you need to use it wisely. Warrior tanks are always in demand in dungeons, but in raids you'll find some stiff competition because the amount of tanks required is so small in a 40-man raid. So warriors in general are pretty gear dependent, but this is most evident in PvP. The difference between having a pool noodle or ash candy will be night and day. Let me tell you though, once you do get that great gear, warrior is easily the most fun class to annihilate people in BGs as.
I'm assuming, being a warrior, you can actually excel in making your own armaments and your own armor, really, because you need the best gear to fight as a warrior, right? So I would assume, being a smith kind of person, making their own weapons, making their own armor would be a perfect fit for a warrior. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Biggest issue you'll face in PvP is getting towards your target in the first place. Hamstring is critical against mobile targets, but once you close that gap, they'll be in for some trouble. Frost mages will be the bane of your existence. You'll get slowed, rooted, and annoyed once you finally get to them, and then they blink away. And then you might consider re-rolling.
Hi, you're a tall one.
Arms is your go-to spec for PvP because of the utility it offers, and I trust you'll find some fun in the class once you get some good gear. Warrior also has a pretty high skill ceiling because of the multitude of different cooldowns, stances, and neat little tricks to get the most out of your class. A brief example is that you can taunt hunter pets so they can attack you and break you out of traps or scatter shots. How often will you use this knowledge? Well, probably not often, but knowing these little tricks can be super helpful in certain situations. Now for professions, I'd recommend cooking and maybe fishing while you're leveling. If you're eating every mob or two, why not take the time to make sure you get some good food that increases your stats, right? Also, don't forget to be leveling up first aid while you're leveling. You're going to be using it a lot on your path to 60 and an endgame as well.
Yeah, if you don't have friends who can heal you, you're gonna need food, you're gonna need first aid kits just in case as you journey to your level 60 and upwards, you're gonna need these kind of things to survive. So yeah, it's good.
Blacksmithing is great because you can craft a multitude of great items like Invulnerable Mail, Titanic Leggings, or Arcanite Reaper. But the main item you're probably going to want to get is the Lionheart Helm. This helm is BIS. Forever. And no, I'm not even joking. You won't find a better helm for a Fury Warrior in all of Classic. Sure, you could just buy it off another blacksmith, but why not be the ones dishing them out instead? And look, this one...
Do you get money for making them yourself and then selling them off? Like, how much do you make exactly? Is it a lot?
Will be a Vanilla's Flavors episode without talking about engineering for a second. Engineering is especially useful for warriors in PvP because they can use the bombs to stun targets and close those gaps. Maybe then you'll even have a chance to touch a Frost Mage. So macros are something that will make your life so much easier in Classic WoW, especially for warriors. You'll need macros to help you out with stance dancing with just 2 simple clicks of a button. The only problem is you'll need an add-on called Super Macro, and this only works on undocumented servers. But once Classic comes out and add-ons start being made, I'll be sure to add a link in the description for a suitable mod. Warrior's go-to legendary is Thunder Fury. This legendary item is a status symbol for any warrior and the guild he is a part of. You'll need a lot of luck for the items needed to drop in Molten Core, and a lot of gold for the regions to obtain the weapon. You and your whole raid team will need to travel to Silphus and face against the Windseeker to get the weapon, and the weapon is usually given to the main tank of the guild. Whoever obtains such a mighty weapon must truly be an all-star player. Did someone say Thunder Fury? See, you guys thought I wasn't gonna make this joke, but I made it. During the beta.
I think I need to watch that South Park episode with World of Warcraft installment in it. I think I need to watch it. It's been a long time, like years actually, but definitely it's something I'm gonna write down and just check out that video again. All I need to know now is the episode number and the title for the episode, yeah. But definitely I'm gonna look for it.
The game, warriors were widely received as the worst class ever. In the wake of all this negativity, a warrior named Indalamar showed people how OP warriors really are. He showcased that spells like Bloodthirst and Slam were stupidly overpowered at the time, leading to warriors being nerfed pretty heavily back in beta. Indalamar was a trailblazer in how to play a warrior, and this even got him a job at Blizzard as an itemization developer. He's got a few items named after him, and holds a place in the Warrior Hall of Fame.
Good for him! Congratulations!
And you too could be in the Hall of Fame if you choose a warrior. I'd recommend this class for anyone who isn't afraid of a challenge when leveling, willing to compete against others for gear, and someone who loves tanking and melee-focused combat, as well as a high skill ceiling in PvP. Well, there we go, the most requested class in the books. The only question now is, what class do you guys want to see next? Be sure to like and subscribe and go to my Twitter and follow that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Okay guys, that was Vanilla Flavors Warrior Vanilla World of Warcraft Class Guide by platinumwow. Yeah, I would not choose this class. I'm not really fond of, attacking the enemy in close quarter combat. I'm mainly like a mid-range kind of class, probably that will suit me, or a supportive role. Yeah, mainly supportive role. I think I would excel in that, and not much in close quarter combat as a warrior. And yeah, the fact that the class is slow to leveling up is also kind of a hindrance to me, because I'm kind of impatient. I don't want to be waiting for months and months, waiting for my class to increase leveling up to level 60. I mean, how long is that going to take for me? Really, how long is that going to take for me? So yeah, I'm not really sure about that, but everything else that this class can do, really, I think it excels more when it's having a team around it that can support it. It can't go out alone and do things by itself, because it has limitations to it. So like all the other classes, it's better when you work together as a team to achieve your goals, whether in PvE or PvP. Yeah, so this class is like the perfect definition of teamwork required. Yeah, if I can say it like that. And like also what platinumwow said, if you need a friend, make sure your friend is able to heal you, because there'll be times where you don't have your food or you don't have your first aid kit and you're fighting against a very powerful enemy. You could die. So if you have someone who can heal you or give you auras, to give you much more strength or immunity to fear or to any other kind of poisons or attacks from the enemy, then you'll be having increased potential of winning whatever battle that you're fighting against, like any kind of enemy that you're fighting against. So yeah, definitely having someone who can heal you, having someone who can give you auras is very important when it comes to be a warrior. And I'm also quite surprised that so many people are choosing to become warriors. Maybe they do like that kind of challenge in the game, and also the fact that you have to challenge others for special gear that drops when you defeat powerful enemies. So maybe they like that kind of competition, and also being the hero or the leader of the group, in terms of you being the tank, taking all the hits, also dishing out the hits to the enemy, while everybody else supports you in trying to defeat this enemy. So yeah, being the warrior class, it's a big responsibility, I think, and it's not my kind of responsibility that I want. Yeah. Okay guys, that's it for tonight. If you liked the video, remember to give me a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and I will see you next week Monday. Okay?